Welcome to all of you out there, dear astrology friends. Another video with me, Veerle, and this video is about the new moon in Libra. We're gonna have a new moon in Libra on the round and about the 21st of October, and it's going to be at 28 degrees of Libra. So around this time of the year, we always have a new moon in Libra. So the sun is going to be at 28 degrees of Libra. The moon is going to join at 28 degrees of Libra. And new moons, as always, it kind of reflects a new beginning, a new start, a planting of the seed in a specific area of your life in your chart where we have Libra. I'm going to get into the 12 signs in a minute, but first, the flavor of this new moon. What is it all about? What is the message of the universe and of the astrology? And what is the divine interpretation of that? Well, Libra is, of course, we're going to have a chance here, an opportunity. By the way, astrology, it doesn't do anything to us. It's not like we astrologers are kind of predictors of exactly what's going on or whatever. But we're more predictors, I think, of the weather forecast, and whatever you're doing with it, it's up to you. So it is, of course, with this new moon as well, new opportunity for Libra stuff to start that up. And Libra is, I'm a bit biased, of course, because I have a son, not a son in Libra, but a son, a child that is a Libra. And my dad was Libran as well. So I'm a bit biased, but I must tell that Libra has that unbelievable quality of wanting the peace, taking into account other people, being kind, being nice as well, but even stronger, being kind, understanding where people are coming from on a rational level, on a logical level. It's an air sign, after all. Has also to do with beauty and art and understanding it and knowing. No, Librans, that is when you have your sun in Libra, your moon or your rising sign in Libra, you're definitely here to exude that energy of beauty as a necessity in our lives. Because when something is beautiful and natural, like a beautiful flower or a beautiful painting or a piece of clothing or some architectural beautiful lines out there, it has an enormous amount of strength and opportunity to get you in the now. And that is the power of art, I think. I'm now getting really philosophical, I know, but I think that around this time, it's to tap into that energy, that we all have an opportunity to start something that is not only, because a lot of people think, oh, Libra, that's relationships. It's true, absolutely, but don't forget the art side, right? And the creativity, the art, the beauty of life. And I'm not saying that if you're beautiful, you're a happy person. And that's not what I'm saying. I hope I explained this well. But with beauty, I mean that it prompts you into the now. So when something is beautiful or you're looking at something that is very, the lines are all perfect and like in geometry or something, or you watch some Art Deco houses or whatever, it prompts you very much in the now. And that's the power of Libra as well. And it is a cardinal sign, Libra. So it wants to establish something in life. It wants to establish relationships, and it wants to establish healthy relationships, and where fairness is definitely important, and also wants to establish, it is ruled by Venus, this beauty and this natural side of the sign of Libra. So we have an opportunity to create this, to start something. For some people, it's going to be, when this is in your 7th house, Libra, it's going to be a relationship, so an opportunity for a new relationship, and it's energy. You tap into it when you want. If you say, I don't want a relationship, then you don't tap into that energy. It's like, the weather. When it rains, you can go outside as well, right? With an umbrella. We have that power. We have that creativity in us as well, that co-creation energy. Um, so we all want to tap into that amazing energy of the beautiful Libra energy. Of course, every sign has a good side and a challenging side. Absolutely. We don't want to go to the new beginning in a negative side of the Libra, which we all know, right? I mean, if you know a little bit about astrology, the downside of Libra is going too much into the Libra side, right? Which is an overdoing of people pleasing, of only looking at the needs of other people, forgetting totally your own needs, that kind of stuff. And people who have some Libra planets will have that as well in their life to some extent, to understand this and to transform this. Talking about transformation. So there is definitely, so that's the new moon. I think it's a very beautiful, you could say, kind of energy there, which is kind and gentle. It's ruled by Venus. And the ruler of this new moon, Venus, is also in Libra at 9 degrees. So it's actually in its own sign and really up to go places with this beautiful energy. Now, it's always important when we have new moons to look at what the rest of the planets, what is the rest of the family doing, right? What is the rest of the planets doing in the sky? Well, we've got the most important thing, and that was what I was saying, talking about transformation, is that this new moon is in a square to Pluto. Yes, we know that Pluto is at 1 degree of Aquarius. So it is actually at the very beginning of Aquarius. And because of this sun and moon are at the very end of Libra and almost tapping into the energy of Scorpio, it makes a square. It's a square that is not, you could say, but Veerle, hang on. This is a bit of a technical astrology, right? People who are studying astrology will know, or they learn that squares are in this case, Pluto in a fixed sign of Aquarius will be squaring up to, in this case, 1 degree of Pluto in Aquarius, 1 degree of Scorpio, the sun and the moon traveling there. And although it's not at 1 degree of Scorpio, it's at 28 degrees. What's going on here? 28 degrees. I don't know what accent that is. You tell me, people who are from the UK or Ireland or Scotland or whatever. Now, that square, of course, is, you could say it starts in Libra, yes, but then 28 degrees, 29 degrees, and then it's going to be traveling into the sign of Scorpio. So it is a square of actually almost exact at 2 to 3 degrees. So it's a Plutonian new moon in Libra, right? It's a Plutonian new moon in Libra. That's the most important. So it means a transformative energy that we are going to feel. A square means tension. It means like, ooh, getting out of the comfort zone here. It's nothing more than that. If we have squares, it's like, oh, it's tension. And we grow with having tension. That's why we have opposites and squares. It's not bad or good. It just means that with the tension, we are forced to grow, so to speak. And we decide if we're going to grow or not. That's up to the soul. But very Plutonian new moon, right? That's another story. And Pluto, of course, has the vibe of Scorpio. It has the vibe of, I'm going to break something down. This is not longer working. I'm going to bring secrets to the surface. And secrets, I mean, things that we want to stuff up that we don't want to look at because it's too heavy or overwhelming or too powerful or whatever. We're scared of it to look at it. And it's shadow. It's absolutely shadow work. Moon square Pluto, Sun square Pluto. Look at people with having this in their astrology. They will have to face their own demons. And the more they're going to point to other people what the shadow is, the more they're going to attract it even more, because it's something inside that wants to be seen and that wants to be known. So we have an opportunity here to battle a fear, to battle darkness, to battle something in ourselves that is a bit of our shadow. Now, it sounds very deep and intense, but that's what Pluto is all about. It's about intensity. Pluto is not just, oh, I'm going to make it, to break it down a tiny little bit. No, it wants to break everything down so that you can do a restart in a more authentic way, in a more real way. Of course, Libra is not really keen on that. Remember because Libra wants to have the, kind, gentle, not too much drama. Pluto is a bit the opposite. It kind of, it's gonna do drama and crises, not just to have fun, but to overcome that and to put something to the surface that was unknown, so you can look at it and tackle it. So it's a bit of a triggery energy. So let's say, for instance, you have this in a relationship sector, this new moon, and you've been single for years, and you have this new moon here in your 7th house, or a new opportunity. There's someone who's really catching your eyes, but it's squaring Pluto, so it means that you probably will have to overcome some sort of fear to do the beginning, right? It's we all experience that. It doesn't matter how strong you are. It doesn't matter if you're young, if you're old, if you're 20, if you're 70, if you're man, female. It doesn't really matter, because if you're well educated, not so well educated, it doesn't make any difference. Pluto is about, look, here is something that if you overcome this, you're going to go up a level, you're going to upgrade, right? So, and it's for every person very personal and very different. So we're going to be invited for a new beginning. There's going to appear a new beginning, but it will depend on ourselves if we are willing to let go of fear. If we are willing to actually go through the fear, basically, it's nothing more or less. To go back to this very simple example, for someone who's having this in a relationship sector, and who's, let's say this person has been single for years and years, comfy zone, and then they want a relationship, but of course, if they do want to have a relationship, they will have to go into the relationship. They will have to battle a fear of, oh, what if they don't like me? What if it's going wrong? I don't want to get hurt. It's a very human kind of feeling, right? And now this Pluto suggests that breakdown of the old identities, Sun square Pluto, breakdown of the old fears, Moon square Pluto, and I promise you, there's going to be something new out there. Pluto is about, the rainbow. At the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold. You're going to get it. But you have to go through that fear and detach yourself from the outcome, whether it's going to work or not. It's that typical people who've been single, for instance, for a long time. What you hear typically is that, yeah, I want a kind of a relationship, but hey, they can't hurt me. I don't want to get hurt again. Now you're setting yourself up, of course. This is a Sun, Moon square Pluto, because it's exactly to accept that when you enter a new relationship, you can get hurt. To accept that is going to make you stronger. To avoid it, it's going to make you weaker. So Pluto is all about weaknesses and strengths, and it's about alchemy of the weakness or the vulnerability. I like to call it vulnerability, right? We all have our vulnerabilities, to see it and to embrace it, to say, yeah, I know, but you know what? The Sun energy squaring Pluto and the Moon. And typically the Sun energy is like, hey, I'm confident enough. If it's not going to work out, I'm still here. I'm still having my back. I'm not going to die. Pluto literally has to do with death and rebirth. So it's a huge topic for a very light energy of the Libra, but squaring up with Pluto makes it quite transformational. So this is energy of the alchemist. This is an opportunity by facing the fears, by going through it, and not by avoiding it, but doing it anyway, even if you feel darkness, shadow, whatever that is for you. For one person, a shadow could mean like, I'm afraid to do that because I don't want to get hurt. For another person, it is, I don't want to lose a job. I don't want to go for that new job because then the new job is the unknown and I don't know where I'm going to land, and so on and so on. So, Pluto is not an easy energy because but it's so rewarding if you work with it and if you understand it. So, what an energy this is. And the thing is, although this is a very challenging aspect, Sun and Moon square Pluto, and if you understand it and you trust, because the other side of this fear and control, I mean, Pluto, when it's in its negative, you could say, it has fear, it wants to control, it wants to manipulate, right? Let's say you are a businessman and a woman, and you lead like 20 people, and you lead from fear. So you're really controlling, and that might work in the short run, certainly. But in the long run, you know, people are going to do sneaky stuff back. They're going to say, yeah, I'm good. And they probably, after their hours, they're going to look for another job, and so on and so on. So when you act like that out of fear, it's really gonna, and manipulation, I mean, and control. It kind of seems on the outside world very strong, but it's a false strength. But when you kind of act like, look, I'm gonna exude this authenticity, and I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna be open to my people, I'm gonna trust that the people that I've hired, that they have a potential, and I'm going to send out that trust, you will see that this is going to be a different company. So, and it's going to be a strong company, because when you exude that, you're going to get that back. That's Pluto as well. It's empowerment. Pluto is empowerment. It's standing above something and being reborn, being reborn, right? Being reborn. And it's, I could talk about this energy for days and days, but, another thing is that if you look into the sky around that day with this Pluto energy, what is the rest of the astrology doing? Well, beautiful stuff, because it's not just a square in itself. Meanwhile, we have this beautiful, in the background, this beautiful water trine going on that will, that is starting around the 20th of October and goes on for the rest of the month. I talk about this water trine in the monthly horoscope, so I'm not going to go into this too much, but the monthly horoscope, I talk about this monthly horoscope of October, that we're having this Mars Mercury at 20 degrees of Scorpio during the day now on the 21st of October, trining Jupiter in Cancer and trining also Saturn in Pisces. So we are already feeling this emotional support. And this Mercury will, in Scorpio, will just have jumped over Mars in Scorpio. So there is it's a very important day, the 21st of October, because there's always an important day when we're going to have a retrograde of Mercury later on in the month, on the 30th of November. Mercury is going direct on that similar point of 20 degrees of Scorpio. So there is like information coming out that was hidden from us, that we can work with, that we can take action upon. Also during that day, that is backed up by Jupiter and Saturn, which means there's the new and there's expansiveness, but there's also the stability. Very beautiful energy. But yes, this Mercury is also starting that cycle of the retrograde. Even it's not going backwards yet, but it's already at an important point. So yes, I think emotionally there will be a lot of help. There will be reflected in the universe that emotionally, because it's in the water signs, this beautiful grand trine, which is kind of rare. I've not been seeing that a lot when I've been doing these horoscopes already for some time. So tap into that, tap into the strength of the support of the emotional water signs. So I think, yes, what an opportunity if you are someone who wants to start something that you're a bit afraid of, and you know that you are afraid of, but you're not fighting it. You're saying, okay, if I want to do something big, it's normal that I'm afraid of it. And but that doesn't mean to say that I can plant the seed and go from there step by step and building up and towards more. In this case, Pluto is about more authenticity, more of a soulful thing, right? So it's a bit of a wake up moment for sure. And there could be some people really having some identity crises because really they're seeing now an opportunity. Let's say you're doing a job that you really hate and it's so wrecking and it's been for a long time, and now all of a sudden someone, because of a connection, because remember this is Libra, it's all about connections. A connection. Someone is telling you, "Hey, you can work for me," and it's exactly what you want. And normally you would have thought, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna leave the old and go into the new," but it's gonna have that, ooh, now I'm having success. It's almost, some people sometimes are afraid of things going in a good way in their lives because they're so used to life not going so good. But anyway, that's the new moon. I'm really loving this new moon in Libra. I hope it's gonna give you some new beginning for sure. Let's look very quickly. Very quickly. I don't, because this is very. I don't want to make this too complex. And I'm going to look at where Libra is in your chart, but also where Pluto is in your chart, so that I can see where this, or explain where this Pluto is also associated with your power, where your strength is, and where your, if you go through that and face that fear, that it's your super power for sure. So for Aries, this is definitely important for you. Definitely, if you have planets like 28 degrees of Aries, you're going to feel this very strongly. And this is your relationship sector. So whether you are single or not, there's a new beginning for you out there in your seventh house, Libra, of relationships. New beginning of a new business partnership, a new romantic relationship. There could be also, when you're already in a relationship, there could be a new beginning in the relationship because of circumstances. But this is squaring up Pluto in the 11th. So where you could say the strength is, but also the fear is in the 11th house of goals that you have for the future, friendships, associations. If you have your own business, it's also an income house. So the challenge will be that there is an awakening of that Pluto in a sense. There is an awakening there could be something happening with a friend that triggers you. And there could also be, actually, with this combination, a friend turning into something totally different than a friend. And you fill in the blanks. Absolutely possible. A transformation of your friendship. And that has to do with, romance or a relationship. It happens. It happens. What else? But also goals. It could also mean that there's a certain goal, and is it really a goal that you want from the heart and from your own authenticity, and it triggers connections. And on another level, it's also income, right? If you have your own business, there could be some transformations coming up for you as well, so that there is a new maybe a new focus. If you have your own business, focusing on a new group of clients, for instance, but you're a bit fearful of it, and so on. Very interesting. Taurians, this is happening in your sixth house, this new moon, this new beginning. The sixth house is your lifestyle. It is your the way that you live your life, your routines that you're doing, your work. For a lot of people, it's work as well, your day-to-day work, your health routines. So you have an opportunity here to, and of course it's Libra, so to either, beautify your lifestyle, whatever that means for you, putting a bit more attention to beauty. And you're a Taurian, ruled by Venus, so you're going to love this. But it squares up to Pluto. So there's something at the top of your chart that is challenging this. It could be your work, your career, right? You could be really transforming your career, or there is a shift that you need to make, or that you feel that you need to make, or that you're a bit afraid of, whatever there is. That is, maybe you want to work less, or maybe you want to work more, but there is a bit of a fear involved there, maybe of losing your power. Pluto in the 10th house in your career. And again, it's about standing in your power, not going from scarcity, right? But definitely also health, your health. So there could be some tension between the career and the health, and that you would just stuff there. When you're not working, but in general, also the 10th house is also parents and it's your social status. So there could be some pressure there happening, and that prompts you into a new beginning in your day-to-day life. Geminis, this is rather positive for you. And why? Because this new moon is in an air sign and you are an air sign as well. And it's in your 5th house. The house of the heart. It's a very fiery house. It's the house of where we have fun. It's the house of love. It's the house of projects that we start, businesses that we start, hobbies that we do, enjoyment that we do. Whether that is, it's in Libra, going to the theater. There could be a new hobby, a new beginning that's related to Libra energy, like beauty or art, or doing something that has to do with that Libra vibe that I described in the beginning of the video. Can also mean children, a new beginning when you already have children, or thinking about children. One of these items is this energy is trining your energy, so it means that you are going to have more ease with this new beginning, although it absolutely squares Pluto in your 9th house of your belief system. So the trigger and the fear could be your own belief system, right? So kind of question it. Maybe you're having the wrong belief system around something that I was just talking about, these, what 5th house is all about. Maybe you want to start a business and you think like, I'm too old to start my own business, that kind of thing. And it is this tension that you're solving. But very beautiful overall. It's about being very honest with yourself. Be very honest and very questioning your belief systems. What you always say to yourself, what you think is true, not to destabilize you and that you don't know your truth anymore. That's not what I mean. And that's not going to happen either, because this is a beautiful new moon for you. But just to question like, I can start something new in this 5th house. And what is holding me back is not that I don't do too much or that I do this or that. It's not about doing, it's about belief. Anyway, interesting. Cancerians, very important, of course, because you are also a cardinal sign. That's an American accent. I don't know where that's coming from. Anyway, it's in your 4th house, this new moon. When you're having planets at 28 degrees of Cancer, you're going to feel this very, very much. It's tension because Libra squares up to your sign, but it's a new start for you. It's a new start on 2 levels. Either it has to do literally with your home, so with your house and with buying, selling houses and so on, or it has to do, it has to do with your emotions, with your emotional setup, with your roots, where you're coming from, the understanding of the emotional self, how safe do you feel within yourself. This squares up Pluto in the 8th house, which is a deep thing, a very deep thing. These are water houses. So you have an opportunity here, dear Cancerian, to really battle one of your fears, Pluto in the 8th house, that has to do with that safety. So again, on a mundane level, this could mean a buying and a selling of a house, but Pluto in the 8th is a fear that is involved there. A fear of how you're going to do this or whatever, or that you're not going to get you're attaching yourself too much to the towards the outcome. Remember that I was talking about control in the introduction. So all of that. But the thing is to overcome this and to understand this and to feel and find security within. But for some of you, this has to do more with, not literally with homes, but more with your emotions. You know, some things can pop up that has to do with family, that has to do with where you're coming from, how your emotional setup has been, and with survival and mechanisms in your emotional setup. And you have an opportunity to shift this. It's a great opportunity. Leos. Leos, this is nice. This is a sextile energy, this new moon in your third house to your energy. So this means that it's going to be way easier for you than other signs who have it in a more tension energy. But you're having this new beginning in the third house, an opportunity here to learn something new, to do a short trip, to a connection with a new neighbor, a new attitude towards your connections with siblings, with teammates, with playmates, with people around you, a new way of thinking. I mean, the logical thinking that you're going to be more, or a new need for expressing yourself with more kindness, right? This is Libra after all. So you all have these opportunities. So also I'm saying to learn something, but also to teach you yourself. There could be an opportunity there. There is fear involved and challenge involved with Pluto, remember, in the seventh house. So this is about a relationship. Whether you're single or not, you're having an opportunity for this third house, this renewal, so to speak, learning something new. But if you have your own business, for instance, having a new platform on the social media and so on, Pluto is squaring up. So there could be like your partner really challenging you and expressing your fear, but projecting it out to this other person of, are you really going to do that? You know, are you really going to do the Instagram? Are you really going to do YouTube? I mean, can you do that? You've never done that? And so on and so on. So it's a very social time for you. You have an opportunity to get up a level on a social level for sure. For business, this is amazing if you have a business because you can find new ways of marketing, how do you say, new ways of attracting also new clients and attracting a new relationship as well. And a very powerful one with Pluto there, and a transformational one. You know, it transforms you, it makes you very real. But it all depends on how you think about it. You know, the logic that you're saying to yourself in a more beautiful, kind, peaceful way. I mean, the lyrics that you're talking to yourself, right? Narratives. Virgos, this is in the very early houses that this is happening. It's a new moon in your second house and a new opportunity, a new beginning when it comes to income. First of all, it's a financial house, so there could be a new income stream that you're thinking about. You're planting a seed. You might really have this opportunity of, and Libra, you know, it's making your also your finances healthier. It can also mean that you're going to buy something or you want to buy something that is quite big, right? You know, it's one of a bigger asset. It's not just a pen or something that I'm talking about, but more like a car or something bigger, something that is useful for you because it squares up to Pluto in your sixth house of your lifestyle, your work, and your day-to-day life and your health. So the challenge here can be that you, for instance, a new job, it's a new income stream. Pluto in the sixth, it demands that you overcome some fears with either it is working with a colleague or it is a routine or an administration thing that you've never done before. It's overcoming these things, right? So it's a very practical energy. I think most Virgos will rather love this because they know that there is an opportunity here to improve their financial situation. It's not just financial situation, it's also your level of value that you have, the self-confidence that you have. There's an opportunity to grow in confidence, to grow your talents. And it's related to a bit of, that stress there going on in your sixth house that wants you to transform, a more authentic job, a more, or also, the second house, sixth house, health and the food that you eat. Maybe you want to eliminate something, and but there is a bit of fear involved. How I'm gonna do this? Is this the right thing for me? But very useful, very efficient energy for you, and Virgos like that. So, although this is a new beginning, this is a planting of a seed to have more confidence, to have more income. Absolutely. Librans. Of course, the whole intro is for you, dear Librans. This is your new moon. This is your new beginning, which is actually amazing. You have a new start, a new energetic start that is for your life path. I mean, the first house is your physical life, your relationships, your life path, where you want to go in life. You have that opportunity to plant here new seeds for that new way of how you express yourself, to do a makeover or to do a new way of how you express yourself in the world. It squares to Pluto in the fifth, right? So this squaring energy has to do with being authentic and being very real in the heart chakra, so to speak. So how you express yourself. It's a lot about expression because these are the expressive houses. So for instance, for some of you, this could mean starting a new project or starting a new business, starting your new business. And Pluto in the fifth, you're a bit afraid of expressing this, but you're doing it anyways with planting a seed and taking care of how you're going to present yourself. It could also mean love. Absolutely, the fifth house is where it all starts. So if you're single, for instance, this could be an expression of a new love that you're a bit afraid of because it's so intense, Pluto in the fifth. But you're doing it anyway because you know that you're going to learn from that and you're going to become empowered when you are going to start this and detach yourself from the outcome. Absolutely. It can also mean children. So there is a new beginning with you, and that has a knock-on effect on your children, or they are transforming your children. They go off to college or uni or whatever, and so that means a new you as well. But whatever it is, it's really an opportunity for you to start something that you're a bit afraid of, but doing it anyway, step by step. Scorpios, this is happening, this new beginning in your 12th house. So this is a very hidden house, and it squares up to Pluto in your 4th. So this is the emotional houses, a new beginning for you, in the house of letting go, in the house of patterns that are blind for you, that you have them, that you let go of them and you release them. And Pluto in the 4th is like this holding on to old, you could say, emotional patterns. Absolutely. So this could be on a more emotional side. No one is really seeing this, it's happening behind the scenes, and you as a Scorpio prefers that, but there's definitely a shift. The biggest shifts that we're making always start within, right? Before we see them in our world, so to speak. And it's that kind of energy for you. There is an opportunity here, a new moon in the 12th, to let go of a pattern that's no longer suiting you, recognizing that pattern, resisting it, which is logical. If you recognize a pattern that was blind before, whatever that pattern is, whether it is a pattern of you wanting always the control, or you're not wanting the control, or whatever the pattern is for you, it doesn't really matter. Everyone has hidden patterns. They become here very much via the subconscious. It becomes conscious, And the square to Pluto means the emotional transformation, because you're feeling it and you're seeing it. It's a deep insight here into your emotions that can really strengthen you and empower you to feel more rooted in your life than you already are. And to embrace that. It's like embracing your own vulnerabilities. It's that, you know. And once you do that, I mean, you become so much more even resilient. And you're already one of the most, I think, the most resilient sign, Scorpios. But this is like the inner work. This is shadow work that you're doing. This is like an old pattern that might have been from parents or teachers or siblings or whatever, that you're saying, no more. 12th house is also the escape house. So you could have had something that you were doing to escape that you can let go of now. The really, really deep psychological insights for you. Sagittarians, this is nice for you. This is a sextile to your energy and it's in your 11th house. So there could be a new opportunity for new friendships or friendship, a new organization that you are part of, or you are the leader of. A new way of, if you have your own business, it's also a financial house, a new stream of income, a new way of a new stream of income, and a new way of attracting clients, and a new way of attracting like-minded people, a new way of a new goal that you have or that you think of in your life, and that has to do with Libra, that has to do with relationship, that has to do with beauty. Remember, checking out the introduction can help you in knowing a little bit more about this. The square to Pluto is your 3rd house, so it's your mind, right? The tricky stuff is the logical mind, the things that we say to ourselves, the narratives, the monkey mind, you could say, because Pluto at its challenge, you could say, is to a bit obsessive thinking or narrow thinking, but the power is the opposite of that. It's like a broad thinking. It's an understanding of, it's a deep insight, basically, because it's also in Aquarius. It's like a very innovative, deep insight. So, wow, for you, this is really this new beginning. It could mean a trigger or an ending of a friendship, could be that as well. And, but it is a thing that, because of Pluto here, that is out of your control, so to speak. And the more you want to, we all have those friendships and we think, oh, we have to do effort, right? We have to chase our friends almost. But, with this Pluto here, it's definitely not good energy. Of course, it's a good energy. If your friends always have to put effort and investment in you and check out you and how are you and are we going to do something. But this is not what I'm talking. And then it's good that you reach out as well, to keep the balance. But this is not about what I'm talking about. This is more about like there could be something really unhealthy in a connection with a friendship that comes up, and you kind of clear it out for better or for worse. It's like we always think that friendships have to be for the rest of our lives. That's nothing further from the truth. That would say that every friend of ours that start as a child, they go exactly the same path, right? Because and the same lessons of growth, which is almost impossible. There are exceptions though. But so there's a shift in friendships. There's a shift in plans for the future. And there's a strength here and an empowerment of our own thinking, that we think very logical, yes, in Aquarius, but that we don't think in scarcity. Capricorn, it's very important, it's a fellow, how do you call it, a fellow cardinal sign. So this is happening at the top of your chart. And if you have Capricorn planets around 28 degrees, you're going to really, really feel this. But all Capricorns will feel that there is a bit of a new beginning there possible, or you can tap into that energy of a new beginning when it comes to your career. For lots of you, it's career. If you're not having a career, for lots of you, it's your place in the world. Let's put it that way. It's the midheaven is a second ascendant, so to speak. So how people see you, you have an opportunity here to show yourself in a new way, to exude new energy, but also to attract a new job and a new beginning that is also related to connections and in the career. But it squares up to Pluto in your second house, so your value can work against you. And I mean the value that you think of yourself, right? So low self-esteem, for instance, can come up here. But when it comes up, it's okay. It's simply showing where do I have to tap into to see that this is true or not, or this is false or not, or something that I still have to clear up around my confidence. And because Pluto in the second is also a huge alchemist when it comes to your talents. So I've seen it many times when Pluto goes to the second house of people that they start seeing their value by seeing their talents and recognizing it, and not just saying, "Oh no, I can do that. It's nothing special." So there is a lot of value involved here, a lot of opportunity here to improve your financial situation, to improve your esteem, and there could be a trigger with a new job, right? So that, for instance, a new job that is offered to you, and can I do this? Do I have the talent for this? You know, it's like that dance between can I do it, and those fears that come up. That is really human-like because it's testing you. Aquarians, this is beautiful because you Aquarians, you are an air sign, and Libra is also an air sign. So you're having here the most beautiful energy. Even if it's squaring up to Pluto, it's trining your energy in the 9th house. So wow, this is beautiful. The 9th house is a very joyful house. It's the house of our, of the connection that we have with the divine. It's the house of broadening perspective, of travel, of study, of teaching and learning and cultural events and things that broaden our minds anyways. And you're having an opportunity here for a new start. For some of you, it's a new study. Others, it's publishing something, teaching a new, learning a new belief system, a totally new belief system here that matches you way better, and more exploring, more adventurous. And it could be linked because this Pluto squares up to you, how you present yourself in a new way. So it could be linked to a part of you that is dying, so to speak, and the new you. So it's linked to, Pluto just went into Aquarius, which is just a beginning. This means transformation and a letting go of parts of your old self, so that you can start that new beginning there in the 9th house, whether it is for you traveling or learning, teaching, learning astrology, or learning something else that connects all the dots, right? Something that has to do with being a part of everything. It's your belief system. Could also mean love, right? A new beginning abroad. The 9th house is the house of abroad after all. So for those of you who are single, this could be a very transformational. You're a bit fearful of this because you have to leave an old part of you. But when you're tapping into this energy, it's a beautiful, harmonious connection. Pisceans, this is happening in your 8th house. This is a new beginning in a watery house, and it trines Pluto in the 12th house, which is your house. So in emotional houses. So for you, this is happening more behind the scenes on a more inner level, not so much on an outer level, but an inner level. But as you know, if you want to change your life, you start within, right? To make those shifts. And it's definitely that for you. The 8th house is the house of transformation, death, rebirth. So there could be themes there that connect with that, inheritances. There could be things of tax returns, so money that you don't have to work for or that you share with other people, return on investments that you did, or insurances. There could be a new beginning and an ending here. That has to do with that. On another level, it's more emotional, that there is an ending of a fear. There is a new beginning because of psychological deep insight of the self. And the square to Pluto is in your 12th house, which is hidden patterns. 12th house is the house where we can release those patterns. We can let go of patterns that were, how would you say, that were compulsive, Pluto, and that we have an opportunity now to heal. This is healing energy for sure. For you, this is all about healing and feeling and healing, so to speak, but also understanding, and also related to relationships, because this is Libra after all. So a lot of healing through relationships, through the understanding of how you do relationships, through vulnerabilities as well. Vulnerability to show who you are to one specific person, for instance. So a lot of cycles that end and a lot of release, though, so that there is a new start when it comes to the strengthening of your character, of your psyche, and your understanding of yourself, which is huge and emotionally very empowering for you. Anyway, this was the new moon in Libra. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your comments and liking, subscribing and watching, and share this as much as you want, and like and subscribe. Order a reading if you want to. I'll put a link below, and thanks again for your attention. Bye-bye.